Hi, welcome to Made with Love by Daisy. In today's video, I will be showing you how to make the interlocking shell stitch. This is how it looks in case you've never seen it. I'm going to be using this stitch in my very next pattern that's going to be releasing soon. So to make this, you will need yarn in two contrasting colors and the hook size recommended for your yarn. Before we get into the video, I'm going to presume that you already know how to crochet, because this is not a how to crochet tutorial. So if you've never done crochet before, I would suggest you stop right now and go check out my how to crochet beginners tutorial series. I will leave the link in the description box. So to make this, you will already need to know how to chain, how to make a single crochet, how to make a double crochet, and also in this pattern a shell refers to a 5DC. So let's get started. So to know how many chains you need for your foundation chain, you first need to decide how many shells you want in your piece. So for my swatch, I want 5 shells. So the formula would be number of shells into 6 plus 2. So since I want 5 shells for this swatch, so 5 into 6 is 30, plus 2 will be 32. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 32. Now I have all the chains I need. Now before beginning the interlocking shell stitch, I'm going to be making one row of single crochet. It will give a neat finish to the bottom edge of the top. So we're going to skip the very first chain and insert a hook into the second chain, yarn over and pull through. So we made our very first single crochet. Continue making one single crochet in each chain. If you notice, I am working into the loops behind the chain. So this gives a very neat edge to the bottom of the top, which is why I like working like this. So continue making one single crochet in each chain till the end, and I will meet you at the end of row 1. So I have 31 single crochet here. Now let's go to row 2. So we're going to start the actual interlocking shell stitch now. So chain 3 and turn. Next we're going to be making 2 double crochet into the very first single crochet. So this would be the stitch that we normally skip while making double crochet. So into the very first single crochet. Oops. So 1 and 2. So we've made a half shell stitch over here. Now we're going to skip 2 and make a single crochet into the next stitch, and then skip 2 and make a shell stitch into the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then skip 2 and single crochet. So continue working this way till the end of the row. So skip 2 single crochet, skip 2 shell, skip 2 single crochet, like that. I'll meet you at the end of the row. So here I have 1 half shell and 4 shells. At this point, after your next single crochet, you should be left with 3 stitches. So we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, insert your hook into the very last single crochet and make 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now before you finish the last DC, you want to switch to the next color. And now chain 1 and turn. Make a single crochet into the very first stitch, chain 2, and now we're going to do a DC5 together over the next 5 stitches. So that will be the first 2 stitches will be from the half shell. The next one would be the single crochet between these 2 shells, and the first 2 stitches from the next shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you should have a total of 6 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. Now chain 2 and make 1 single crochet into the next stitch. So we're just going to continue working like this. So chain 2, DC5 together, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, DC5 together, chain 2, single crochet. So I'm going to show you one more time before I go off camera and finish this row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, now we'll pull through all 5, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2. I'm going to go ahead and finish this row. I'll see you at the end of this row. Now after your very last DC5 together and chain 2, we're going to make 1 single crochet into the top of the chain 3 of the previous row. So now let's chain 3 and turn. Row 4 is exactly same as row 2, but I'm going to show you anyway because there will be a little changes because row 2 was worked into the single crochets and we're going to be working this row into the tops of these DC5 together. So because of that it'll be a little different. So we'll start off exactly the same. So chain 3, turn and make 2 DC into the very first stitch, and here's where it gets different. We're going to make a single crochet into the top of this DC5 together, make a shell into the next single crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this row is very simple. So make a single crochet into the DC5 together, make a shell into the single crochet. That's it. Keep working this way. I'll meet you at the end of the row. So here I'm at the end of this row, And just like we did at row 2, we're going to make 3 double crochet into the very last SC, and 3, and before finishing this stitch you are going to switch colors. So this is how the rest of the stitches worked. You just have to repeat row 3 and row 4 till you're happy with the length, and make sure you're switching colors every time, every alternate row. So I will work a couple of rows and then I will come back and show you how to add a finishing trim. Okay, I know I just told you I will be back after finishing a few more rows, but unexpectedly I have a problem here. So in the previous row, in the shell stitch, instead of making 5 DC, I've only made 4. So then I thought, instead of ripping it out, why not show you how to troubleshoot? So in case you notice that, you probably like me, you will only notice in the next row when you have to do the DC 5 together. So don't panic, you do not have to frog your work. So we're going to chain 2 like we do. So there's no problem in this DC because this shell has 5 DC. It is this shell that is the problem. So we're gonna pick up 2 DCs from here, not a problem. So we've got 2 stitches, and then 1 into the single crochet between the 2 shells, and just go ahead and make a DC 5 together just normally. Alright, and now chain 2. So now this is where we're going to be doing it different. So if you had 5 DC, you would have made 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then over the remaining 2 DC you will start a DC 5 together. But since we are missing 1 stitch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the same stitch where we just pulled up the last thing and make a single crochet here. And after this I'm going to continue working normally and make a DC 5 together. 2, 3, 4 and 5, and finish this as normally, and there you go. It's like it never happened. So in case you accidentally miss 1 DC, you do not have to freak out, you do not have to frog your work. Just go ahead and do this little hack. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now chain 2, and the last single crochet goes into the top of the chain 3 in the previous row. Okay, so this time I will really be seeing you after I finish at least another 6 rows. Okay, I know I did tell you that I will see you after repeating the pattern for 6 rows, but the mistake I made in this row made me wonder, what would I do if I accidentally make an extra stitch? So in this shell that you see, I have intentionally made an extra stitch so that I can show you how to troubleshoot in case you end up in the same way. So here's the shell with the extra stitch, and this shell has 5 stitches. So I'm just gonna make a DC 5 together. 2, 3 chain 2. So here we go. So normally you would have one single crochet in the next one, and then you should be left with 2, but now you have an extra DC. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an invisible decrease over the next 2 stitches. And there. Right. I made an invisible decrease so that it will not be very obvious. If you do a regular decrease, it will be shown. So yeah, make an invisible decrease, chain 2, and continue making DC5 together. So the important thing here is when you are making your single crochet on the top of each shell, you just need to ensure that it is in the middle. So if you have any extra stitches, make a decrease. If you have less stitches, do an increase. You may adjust however you want to. Just make sure this single crochet goes into the middle of the shell. Okay, so this time I'm really gonna finish the swatch off camera, and I will see you after I've finished at least 4 more repeats of the pattern. Excuse me. I've repeated the pattern 5 times, so I have 10 rows of the pattern. And once you're happy with the length, you can stop, but this is just a swatch, so I've just repeated it 5 times. And you want to stop in one of the repeats of the R3 rows, though. That is the row with the DC5 together. So basically you just want a flat top edge to give a neater finish to the top. I will be adding 1 row of single crochet. So now chain 1 and turn. The important thing to remember while doing this row is you need to end up with the same number of single crochet you had in row 1. So that means you need to make sure you are working 6 single crochet for every shell that you have. So to make sure that they are spaced out evenly, this is how I do. You can do it differently if you want to. So after chain 1, so I'm going to put 1 single crochet into the first single crochet. So single crochet and the single crochet. Second single crochet goes into the chain 2 space. And now the next third single crochet goes into the top of this DC5 together. Right. Now the fourth single crochet, I'm gonna make it into this. So this is not actually a real stitch. So this is just the side of the DC5 together. So I'm gonna make 1 single crochet into that. The next one goes into the chain 2 space. The last one goes into the second chain of the chain 2 space. So we have 6 here. The reason I do it like that is because if you put both the single crochet into the chain space, this chain space will look bigger than this chain space. So now I'm going to continue making 6 single crochet across each of the shells. So 1 single crochet in the single crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain space, 1 single crochet into the DC5 together, 1 into the side of the DC5 together, the next single crochet into the chain 2 space, and then into the second chain of the chain 2 space. Right, so what I was saying was, if you put both of the single crochet into the same chain space, then we have only 1 single crochet in this chain space. So putting 2 here will make this hole look larger than this. So by putting 1 single crochet into the chain space and 1 into the second chain, we can make sure both of them look similar in size. If you've calculated it correctly, you should be left with 1 single crochet. So make 1 single crochet into that. So you should end up with how many of the shells you have into 6 plus 1. So we had 31 single crochet in our first row, and we had 31 single crochet on this last row. So this is how you make the interlocking shell stitch. I hope you found this video useful. And this top that you see here uses this stitch, and the pattern will be available soon on my Ravelry store. You can find the link to my store in the description box. If you like this video tutorial, do support me by subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell to ensure you do not miss any new content. So until next time, happy hooking!